Greetings everyone, my name is Jim Delapine and I will be your instructor for this course, Image Manipulation. Alright, so I'm very excited about teaching this course. It's one of my favorite courses to teach at the school. If you've had previous experience with Photoshop, that's fine. If not, that's fine also. This is a basic intro course to Photoshop and will be treated as such. So we're basically starting from scratch, and what I like to do is start everyone out with a shortcut sheet that I'd like you to definitely refer to. Okay, so understanding these shortcuts is quite simple and really important. I'm assuming that you want to be working in the field, so this will make you a lot more efficient and a lot more professional. So if I zoom here and show you what they are, it all makes sense. So keep in mind that Control is referring to the Windows environment. If you're in the Mac environment, replace Control with the Command key, and I note that here at the bottom. Okay, so let's talk about the course project and deadlines, etc., etc. So basically, the course project, you'll be choosing one of these 6 options to create a character out of. Okay, and you'll be melding them together into a wonderful character. Before I get into that, I'd like to also just point out to please be mindful of making the deadlines. Okay, the deadlines required to penalize you 10 points per day for lateness. Okay, and it's a good reason for that. We want to set you up for good work habits, and being on time is extremely important. Okay. There's also a participation grade that you'll be receiving that is due 2 days after the assignment deadline. So just make sure that you respond to your peers substantively, and all will be good. All right, so let's jump right into this. I want to first of all show you some samples that former students have produced, but you're going to be asked to first of all select one of these and come up with several sketches. Okay, so this is the kind of sketch that I am expecting and hoping to get. Something that actually has diagrams as to what you're going to place and where you're going to place them. So put a lot of thought into this, and also be aware that whatever you choose, if it's Fantasia Furniture Fairy, you may want to look around your house and see objects that you may want to fit together. Okay, basically, ideally, you want to get access to images or elements that you have access to. Also, ideally, you'd want to take your own photographs. All right, if you're going to resort to getting images from the web, you're going to spend a lot of time, and the bottom line is you need to get high quality pictures to get a good end result. All right, so that gets a little tricky when it comes to the web. If you have access to things in your kitchen, for example, if you choose Flippin' Food Fred, that's ideal, because usually the kitchen items are small. You can take photographs of them and control your environment and the lighting, etc., etc. If you choose Computer Critic Chris, you have access to all kinds of computer devices and elements that will create this character. And we'll talk about this as I proceed. So again, this is a sample that I'd like you to refer to. So in other words, this needs to be pretty well thought out ahead of time. It will definitely save you a lot of energy in the short run. So let me just show you some samples of Flippin' Food Fred. This student took her own photographs of all these different elements and fit them together. All right, Fantasia Furniture Fairy. Now this is an unusual situation because I usually don't like students to incorporate artwork or any artwork from external sources into their images. I usually like to stick with photographs, since Photoshop is an image editing program. It's all about photography. But in this case, she did a lot of work on building up the character with all these different elements. So the background seemed too perfect. So go a little further to another sample of Furniture Fairy, Fantasia Furniture Fairy, and I think this is a very nice solution also. The focus is on the subject. The background is kind of like just there as a background feature and not distracting at all. Okay, so I thought this was kind of wonderful. Again, I'm showing you samples of what I consider the best of my former students' work. The idea is to not be intimidated. The idea is to be inspired, okay? And I'm here to help you. I can provide you with video tutorials if you'd like. So I'm going to hit you with an onslaught of information, okay? So get ready to have some fun. Here's another wonderful example of Fantasia Furniture Fairy where the student used coffee filters, actually, and a ladder and an assortment of goodies. So okay, she kind of stretched it a bit with regards to the furniture aspect, but it works. All right, this is an unusually good representation of Garbage Dan. This is a difficult one to make look good, but I think the student carried it off. It's actually Garbage Dump Dan, so the student kind of lost points there because you cannot change the name, okay? Here's another one, Flippin' Food Fred. Okay, nice simple graphic background. Let me zoom in on that. Let me go right to the end here. The student used an Etch-a-Sketch and did a pretty good job with Terrible Toys Todd, and her font choice was an excellent idea with regards to children's blocks. Another Terrible Toys Todd, and a fantastic end result for Computer Critter Chris. This student happened to be a professional in the field, so I kind of held him to a higher standard, and I think his end result came out fairly spectacular. Okay. There's a Rockin' Rhapsody Roy. This student was a musician, so she had access to these instruments. The end result was pretty cool. All right, so I mean, this is an amazing program. So you're going to really get a thrill out of what the possibilities are for Photoshop. It's one of my favorite programs. I've been working with Photoshop for several decades, so I can really help you out with any thoughts that you have that you would like to achieve in Photoshop. Ask me and we'll figure out a way to do it. All right? I look forward to working with you guys. Take care.